Hey guys, Niffler here and welcome to the top 3 meta builds in 2.4 Atlas of Worlds. Starting at the bottom of the list with Barrage. Now Barrage itself is not a build yet, but almost every bow and wand character in 2.4 that killed Shaper was using it as single target. Barrage was subsequently buffed over the patches, introduced in 1.0.3, in 1.1 the 33% less attack speed penalty has been removed. Since 2.0 Barrage gains base damage per level instead of increased physical damage, and in 2.1 this base damage has been buffed by 30%. Just for reference, this is 5 times the 2.4 Glorious Glacial Hammer buff. Now let's take a quick look at what Barrage actually does. Plain Barrage fires 4 projectiles in a straight line with a 60.4% damage effectiveness, resulting in 245% base damage dealt, assuming all those arrows actually hit. That's already a pretty effective solo target, outclassing even Heavy Strike with only 195%. But if you add in all the additional projectiles from the Helm Enchant, unique bows, corrupted quivers and the unique threshold jewel Volley Fire, you end up at double and even triple the amount of arrows fired, turning your character into a living railgun. Now, if you think of tons of projectiles fired in rapid succession, it's no surprise this scales very well with both elemental and physical damage and can be further exploited with point blank and of course poison. As already mentioned, Barrage can be used simply for single target by most bow and wand builds, but if you're looking for a pure Barrage example build, you can check out Build of the Week Season 6 Episode 1. Just click the info card or the link in the description below. Coming up next, number 2 on this list, Ancestral Warchief. This skill has gained even more popularity, turning melee builds into totems since 2.3. Especially in hardcore, the high survivability provided by the totem playstyle is much wanted, especially considering the low budget required, and 133% base damage also scales great. As Warchief totems can make use of any melee weapon type, and even unarmed you have a very high flexibility during leveling and of course tons of different endgame variants. You can go RT or crit, two-hander, one-hander and of course facebreaker. In terms of ascendancies, there are also multiple options. You can go for Berserker for the deeps with Aspect of Carnage, Slayer for its AoE with Headsman and Impact, Chieftain for taunting totems, probably best suited for hardcore players, or even Assassin is viable for going crit with Deadly Infusion and Ambush. A very impressive low budget setup for Shaper on hardcore is using Facebreaker with Bringer of Rain on a Chieftain. Bringer of Rain provides a 6-link for a very low budget with decent flat physical damage for the Facebreaker scaling and even block as a bonus defensive layer, in addition to the taunts from your totems. For a casual player willing to kill Shaper, this should be the best option these days. I personally just used Warchief totems in my last guide for making CI crit Facebreaker work. As always, you can find a link in the info card or down in the description below. Now get hyped for the top 1 most meta build in Atlas of Worlds, which is, surprise surprise, Baldevortex Pathfinder. The embodiment of power creep and CEO of Shape Nation. Jokes aside, Baldevortex has been changed in 2.4, having its stack size reduced down to 20, but therefore gained a 63% more damage buff. So after all, the damage level is still insanely high, but now even easier to sustain. What kept me from rolling Baldevortex last league was sustaining high stacks was annoying, especially reaching 50, and now GGG reduced the stack size to 20 but kept the DPS at the same level? What the fuck, seriously? The clear speed of Baldevortex is top level, as the skill creates a death zone of circling blades around your character, and now all that's left to do is moving through the map as fast as possible, taking advantage of the 2 tier 1 movement skills, Whirling Blades and Shield Charge. And for boss fights, simply cast up to the 20 stack limit and go one-shot the boss with concentrated effect, and if not one-shot, become immortal from the Absurd Leech in combination with Warpact. The Flaskfinder exploits alone are meta already, but in combination with the Blade Vortex you exploit this ascendancy class on a whole new level. Master Surgeon provides 10% chance to gain a flask charge on critical strike, allowing you to refill even unique flasks. As 20 stack Blade Vortex crits at a very high rate, this allows you to sustain flasks even during boss fights without adds, and together with Nature's Boon, your flask uptime becomes basically 100%. In combination with the Master Alchemist, you are not only immune to bleed, but also to all elemental status elements during any flask effect. This allows you to just go 5 unique flasks, providing very strong bonuses that are further enhanced by the additional flask effectiveness. You end up with double the values for Taste of Hate, for bonus damage and physical mitigation, a series promise for the bonus leech and even more DPS, Kiara's Determination for Onslaught, Curse and Stun immunity. With Rumi's Concoction you reach block cap without any block nodes in the passive tree. And on top of all this craziness, there's still Vessel of Vinktar, shocking the enemies around you, converting 20% of physical to lightning damage and gain insane 20% life and mana leech. Of course with the downside of getting shocked yourself, but guess what, Flaskfinder is immune to everything on flask use, so yeah, there's no downside anymore. Oh, and I forgot to mention, just take all those values times 2, because this was not yet overpowered enough. Blade Vortex Pathfinder combines the highest DPS and clear speed with the strongest defenses in Path of Exile, capable of face tanking even the Shaper and trivializing otherwise challenging endgame content. So if I had to guess what build GGG's balance team is playing, I'd bet my orbs on this one. That's it for my top 3 list. I was just going over the mechanics that make these builds meta. For build guides, plenty can be found in the Path of Exile forums, but if you really want me to upload a build guide on my own channel, just leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, and for more Path of Exile content, feel free to subscribe to my channel, where you will find weekly build guides and trading tips. I hope you guys enjoyed and hope to see you next time.